It's your morning marijuana motivation time. I'm your host with the Moses Marquis Saint. And every morning I get up and I am blessed to be alive, and so are you. And this morning I'm already busy. People are texting me, fucking blowing up my phone. I'm just trying to get my smoke on. I'm just trying to get this show started and on the road because life goes on. LVOG, Monkey Tail, Billionaire Hemp Wraps, and of course, Weed Club. Join now, get your spark on, let's get your motivation on with me, and I'm going to dive into Human Nature, The Laws of Human Nature, the audiobook by Robert Greene, who I'm just an absolute fan of, and I hope that you can't get a rest of this too. So let's jump into it, shall we? I've been listening to it. This alone is like 10 hours, this part one series. Go ahead. This part one series, there's like 3 parts to it. That's just one part, and it's already 10 hours, and I've been working my way through this audiobook. But the reason I like this book so much is because it does with psychology so much. And I have a psych degree, and I'm into psychology, and I'm into knowing what makes us tick on a deeper level. And let's motivate real quick. You see that come back on me? Burnt my little fucking... Burnt my shit. Fucker. Ooh, did I throw it on the ground? Jesus sake. Get your shit together, bro. Get your shit together. Okay, so let's get this show on the road, shall we? Today, I had such a profound, or last night, I had such a profound experience listening to Robert Greene. Everything that he writes, the laws of power, the laws of nature, and I think there's another one, the art of seduction, New York best-selling time, all that good stuff. Let's just get down to what you get out of it. So even if it wasn't a New York bestseller, or it probably wouldn't have made it to my lap if it wasn't. But the truth of it is someone had to track what we do and why we do it. You know, a lot of us are I talk about it all the time, polished crackheads. You know what I mean? We're pretending that we got all our shit together and we don't have loneliness and we don't have despair and that we don't need hope and we don't need love, and all that matters is that we have a blue check next to our names on Instagram and everything else is just fakery, right? Well, here's the truth of it. There's reasons for all of us doing our things. There's deep down psychological reasons why all of us act the way that we act and do the things that we do. And a lot of us don't know why we're doing it. And that was something that was so key for me from this audiobook versus, what was the other one? Fuck Your Feelings and The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Those are great books. This one's even better. And I've been getting out these books and going into it, but it takes us taking a look at ourselves deeper, taking a deep dive, if you will. And how were our parents? What kind of parents did we have? Did we have controlling parents? Did we have parents that gave us all free for all? Did we have parents that were against conflict? How are you handling conflict? What happens to you when you get distressed? Do you shut down or show up? And I mean, they're watching people on a baby level. What did they call that? This one called the needy baby, or the gluttonous baby. There's babies that haven't they need more attention than others. They're screaming their heads off at the slight drop of discomfort. They're already keyed in on a life that needs a lot of attention. And this is on a baby, not even child. This is like first days born, already exhibiting personality traits, already exhibiting their style. And most of us, we don't even know our style. We know our clothing style. You feel me? We know our clothing style. We know the error. Let's go into part two. Let's go into how we, as children, we're in our time zone. We're in our generation. The things that affect us, like they were talking about Generation Z and 9/11 and the freedom of the 70s and just generation. I gotta take off this shirt. It's way too hot out here. Oh, dead dog serious. Hold up. I got my LVOG shirt on. Yep. Fucking sweating, and I'm even gonna take off my shorts and the Saint slides. By the way, get some Saint slides. These things are awesome. But yeah, your boy stays sweating literally while I'm sitting here trying to have the show. So anyway, just trying to get my smoke on and talk to the people about life in general and how we as people have adapted to our environments and the things that have constructed us and made our environments and made us who we are. So let's get into it, shall we? Robert Greene, amazing. I like watching his videos. He's not much to look at, but he looked at all of us. He's looked at people do envy and manipulation and things that we do to act out of power and things that most people don't want to talk about, and we hide behind our civilization or our civilized selves. But the truth of it is we're a lot like ourselves. Something flew back in my throat. Anyway, hostile, aggressive. I'm an aggressor, by the way. I had to learn this stuff. What's your archetype? Who are you? And a lot of us, we might be a passive aggressive person. We might be an aggressor. They did a lot of research that was really cool to me about this book, is how much research he did on people like Rockefeller and how passive aggressive he was. He seemed demure and innocent, but he was ferocious and he was coming to you from all angles, and he would do all sorts of ruthless laws were created for the way he did business, like buying out someone's pipeline or outbidding them ahead of time, and fucking with the guy's head, knowing that he couldn't stand it anymore. He said, "Stop trying to fucking run this business. We're gonna have to split." And he was like 2 years prepared for this day and had a bigger loan already ready and outbid the guy. And then the other guy tried to size him up, so then he bought the pipelines, and then the other guy made pipelines go over hills, and they just went neck and neck, and every day going after each other, outbidding and out competing in competition of jockeying for position. And this is in the business world. This set the tone for world business. I mean, the world was watching your boy Rockefeller do this shit, and they were just like, look, money kind of makes you untouchable. But then they went to go touch him, and then he avoided he went traveling so he could avoid the what do they call that when they summons you and they give you a subpoena? And he was trying to avoid a subpoena state to state, and then he knew it was coming, and then he had to finally show up, and then he played dumb, kind of like what Trump's doing right now. There's a lot of this going on, history repeating itself, and people trying to do whatever it takes to be in power. And what happened to him as a child? Rockefeller was born like I was kind of born, where he had a weird father, an alcoholic father, and when he would show up, it would be action, and he would be jovial and presence, but he was also abusive and curt, and then he would just disappear, and then no one knew when he would come back. And he would take all the money with him, and he told him not to trust anybody. So this unsteadiness as a child brew inside of a man a fear and a thirst. You got to know what your fear and your thirst is, dude. Like, we as individuals, people, need to know what our motivation is. You feel me? I had to find out what was Saint's true addiction. If I was chasing this cocaine, I was chasing these girls, and I was chasing these highs, I put so much max effort into this. He's putting max effort into control. He doesn't want people to outwalk him or walk in front of him. He thinks he's the best. He's snooty like that. He might not express it outright. He wasn't an aggressor. He was a passive aggressive motherfucker. And he would do all sorts of things to make sure that he would stay in control. And that's just one person. A lot of these people are interviewed. A lot of these people are studied to see the psychology of real human beings. The way when the when the juice is worth the squeeze, and when everybody's under pressure, like she said in the movie. What's the movie? I'm trying to give you guys an hour of my time because this is a deep subject, and today it's going on, and one of the banner stands broke, and we're trying to get it all fixed. But anyway, I'm gonna enjoy my smoke. I'm gonna settle myself down, and I'm gonna control me instead of letting things control my situation. You feel me? So that's what I do. I take my time, and as I take my time, you're gonna enjoy the time with me. So anyway. I don't want to just take your time. I want you to learn. I don't need you just to watch me. I actually prefer you to put the phone down. Seriously. It's not about the facial. It's not about the shirts off. It's not about anything that you are thinking of on a basic level. This is deeper than this. This is like a kid that had a disturbance in his life and became a control freak because he had no control as a child. It freaked him out. It freaked him out. He saw the look on his mom's face. He had to go to work young as a kid. The other guy said it the other day at Fresh and Fit. He said, I grew up so poor that I hated it. And I'll get up at 4 a.m. There's no way I can go broke. And all my fucking dividends are getting 6, 7 figures. And all my investments have 7 figures. And I'm doing this, that. Awesome sauce, bro. Like, you could tell the pain was still in him. Men, we're not so good at covering up, and women are more talkative about these things. But if you're ballsy enough, if someone were to sit you down and say, what made you? That's a tough question to answer. That's a tough question to answer. Billionaire Hemp Raps, y'all. These are fucking amazing. What made me an alcoholic father? My insecurities make me want to demand control. It makes me in fear when I'm in love. I'm too vulnerable. And I act irrational. This is the first time out of all the audiobooks since yelling at my pregnant wife, before she committed an abortion, I'm mad at myself for that. And I mean, she can do whatever she wants because that's her. I can say what she did to me to trigger me and do all that other stuff. And I'm sure she did it to trigger me. But that's her, right? That's another passive aggressive way of getting it over with. That's another way of having multiple personality disorders, bipolar disorders, people that do that kind of thing. Do you know what kind of person you're dealing with? A lot of us don't. We don't see it that way. I built muscle to protect myself from my father, dude. I realized that as long as I got stronger and kept wrestling, he can't fuck with me no more. And I was so psychosis into it that I went to go to get a civil engineering degree when I first started out, but it was way too much math for your boy's mind. I wasn't that mathematically inclined. I just wanted to be my dad's boss. And like I told people before, you got to ask yourself, there was this whole algorithm. Should I get an LLC? It was a diagram. Should I get an LLC? Should I be a corporate C, S Corp? All these kind of questionnaire. And as you answered, it said yes, no, and it would divide. And it said, are you trying to do this to beat your father? And I was like, yeah, that was a lot of it. These demons that you guys don't see, right? I talk about it openly. That's what Saints Addiction's all about. Every angel has a demon. And in those demons that we don't see, the shadow side where everybody wants to put in their civilized face, there's somebody in there that's aggressive. There's somebody that's scared. Inside there is a child inside of all of us. And if you start seeing the child inside people, me minus a beard real quick, you can see what people are really made out of. You can see the hind teat kids, you know what I'm saying? The ones that are the late bloomers, or the ones that, I said the hind teat because they're the small ones, the run of the litter, if you will, right? The run of the litters are always going to feel like they need more attention and act out because that's what they're used to. We become repetitive, especially with our behaviors and our actions. So you really got to ask yourself, what kind of kid was I? And like, not only that was step one, what kind of parents, step two, what kind of environment, and step three, what kind of kid actually am I? What kind of baby am I? Me, I was a needy baby. My mom tells of a time where she had changed my diaper, fed me, did everything properly, and I wouldn't shut the fuck up. Well, she called my grandma crying and hysterics. She's like, I don't know what's wrong. He won't stop. She said, leave him in the room. Let him cry himself out. Let him cry himself out. Stop picking that baby up. Stop letting him drive you nuts. Let him cry himself out. And apparently that's what I did. So even when you love something so much and you know you love it so much, even then it can test your patience. Even then you get to know who you really are. And I didn't realize it to myself when it had happened. I had a flash of my father so I could see the abuse, and it kind of scared me too. It felt like, I don't know, it felt like when Hulk had opened up the gamma rays and it went through me. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if anybody's, I'm sure everybody's seen Bannon open up the old fight scene. This is the new Hulk, not the old Hulk. in the 80s. This is a new one with Eric Bannon. And he opens it up, right? He throws it out because he's all angry, and the gamma rays get all over him, right? And it just went through me and my DNA. And you're going to have moments that are going to go through you and to your DNA. You're going to start to see stuff of yourself. You know, it's right around elementary, middle school that we start to assimilate with everyone else, right? Like, how do I, it's like almost like school's training ground for how do I assimilate and act towards other human beings. And that becomes our default, right? Like I just welcomed my buddy back. Welcome to the default world. We live in a default world where most of us are playing by the rules, right? We're not showing how aggressive we are, how competitive we are, how horny we are. We cover all this stuff up. But with 400 million years of evolution and basic desires, these are the law of human nature. So there's human and then there's nature. And the two things almost seem like they don't go together because the way we treat our environments and don't let me go. I'm going to go deeper with you guys tomorrow with another hour-long video if I have an hour to spare, and I'm alive. You know, that's another recognition of this, the law of nature, knowing that we could die. I don't know if you guys really watch as much History Channel as I do, but I was just watching. He also talks about Louis the 14th and his shock, the utter shock that the whole world had turned upside down for the French Revolution. That he couldn't even recognize these people, these skinny, sunken people that haven't eaten, pressing their face inside the carriages while his wife and children are shocked too. They ain't never seen anything like that. They came from a whole world where everybody would kiss his hand. He was so royal. And then the guy comes into the jail cell and he's shocked that the guy's speaking fast, didn't kiss his hand, dressed weird. He's this is the first of fashion, by the way. Remember, this is the first time people could kind of measure people by the fashion and what they're wearing and how to judge them. And he's just judging this dude. He's like, I've never seen anybody put that combo together. This motherfucker speaking fast. He didn't even kiss my ring. And lo and behold, he doesn't realize that he's about to get his head chopped off. So it's just like a whole level of disassociation that we have, right? And environments that we grew up in. He couldn't even recognize the subjects. He's like, who are these skinny people? Who are these people calling us the worst names ever? He couldn't understand it. And even to the end, before that they chopped off his head, he still was talking to people like he was their Lord and Savior, the closest thing to God. And a lot of us act that way, that delusional confidence. And as long as we, shine rainbows out our assholes, everything's going to be okay. The thing that makes it okay, what I've learned with my healing, is to admit it. You know, I've been working on my rapid honesty. I don't know if you're doing it or not, but some of us can scurry back to that fake truth, or some of us can be brave and live in that light and take it as it comes. And I'll tell the other story too, because this young girl, they were at ISIS, and she wanted to go to school, and she made a video because she wanted to go to school, and the guy came into this classroom and said, "Who's the girl?" And brave as fuck, instead of hiding like most people would have done, she said, "I am." The guy boldface shot her in the face right in front of everybody. She survived and is a leader around females for the continuation of education. There's something about the incidents that happen to us that makes us stronger. I tell you, watch out, because I've been through some shit. But I also acknowledge that it's not just personal shit. The thing that it makes me heal, the thing that I feel comfort in, is knowing that I'm not the only one, right? I didn't get hauled off and watch all the people that I've ever known, all the lords, with their heads on sticks. I mean, you got to think that this is a different moment in time. Everybody's done lost their mind. But literally, these things that people have endured. In my book, The Book Endure. And things that we maximize because we believe it only rains on us. But we need to know that there's going to be trials and tribulations. There's going to be something that's going to test us. And I'm here for the test. I'm here for the mistake. I'm here for the knowing. You know, I'm here for the depth. And the depth of my soul, the depth of my history, the depth of my reactions, and the depth of my thoughts, you know, the depth of my happy.
and these true happies that I'm looking for. I think we're all looking for. I know we're all looking to not suffer, but I'm talking about true happiness, something that just doesn't go away easily, doesn't leave you, and you find it in yourself. I find it in the Tao, Tai Chi Chuan uh, book I'm going to talk about tomorrow. I want to make sure that I said that correctly. But the Tao was just so amazing. I can't get into it. Saint, don't get into it. Do another show. But it was another. I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and these would be my audiobook reviews. So Saint's Addiction audiobook review. But it hit home. The stuff that hits home, I share. That we aren't alone. It's helpful to know. hmm It's helpful to know that everyone has a brain and a psychosis, right? Everybody has needs and wants and ways that they've learned how to get it, whether it be manipulation or being direct or taking it. We're all still very much still monkeys in a tree. And let me see. Sorry, I got a message too, and my buddy's helping me. I'm getting help and giving help. You know, these book reviews, I guess, is helpful. Audiobook reviews, because I just listen to the audiobooks, and I'll share the links in the thing below when I have more time to stay organized. But I shared it with a lot of friends, and a lot of people were appreciated. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, strong book, and now even stronger books that I'm reading are again the is it The Art of the Way, The Way of the Art. I don't know, but it's the way. Here, let me check real quick. I can tell you. I know I should be staying focused on the one book, but there's so many good audiobooks, and I've been chewing these up. Tao Te Ching, the Book of the Way. There it is. Yeah, Tai Chi Ching, the Book of the Way. It's actually pretty cool too if you get a chance. It looks like that with the flowers. But right now I'm on the Laws of Nature. You see that the laws of human nature, and why sometimes people hate on you because they're envious of you, and then they'll sabotage you and you won't even know why, and you're wondering where's the vibe. And there's some people that are just like that. They can see like a monkey in a tree, you enjoying your mango, and they'll want to come over and disturb it because they're not as happy with their mango. And it happens a lot with subversively, like especially with women. They do a lot of subversive shit like that. We do all sorts of things that jockeying for position still. Nobody wants to be hind teat, and yet we all are in. It's almost like the monkeys wearing the suits, right? We're all dressed up crackheads. It's like, well, wearing the suit. Oh man, did I lose that hair? We can put on the dress, but it's like the pig with lipstick on. You know what I mean? It's still a pig. You can put all the lipstick you want on it, but our actuality, our reality, and the way we actually are and our nature is way more riveting to me than this mask. And even when you're just speaking of it, because your boy Dave Chappelle talked about Will Smith pretending to be a perfect human being for 30 years. No one's fucking perfect, and he took the mask off in the most weirdest way, and that's what it happens. It's so easy to play perfect. It's so easy to over analyze and pick apart and live in that realm. I know a lot of women putting on their fake eyelashes. You know, I know a lot of dudes buying cars. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's things that we're doing and we don't even know why we're doing it. So that was just one of the shockers from this book. Was just like, wow, these laws of nature are real, and there's some really animal about us and natural about us where we are developed to a certain extent with a certain type of way, and then when we get in our way, we hold that way as the way, and whenever situations happen, we usually process it in a certain way. And with that, I'm gonna light this blunt. Saints Addiction. Go to the website. I got new designs, and I'm dropping even more designs. You already know. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. And then what else? What else? What else? Let's listen to some Laws of Nature from Robert Greene. The Human Laws of Nature. Let's go.
Hello, and thank you for listening with Pixco. Just a few reminders before we begin. This audiobook will be split into 3 parts. You are currently listening to the first part. If you want to listen to the second and third part, click here, or click the link in the description. And also, if you are interested in audiobooks like these, you should consider subscribing.
For sure.
I make these types of audiobooks each week in my channel.
She's got like an English accent.
Subscribing will
I was
help and
thinking I should
support
do
the
some
growth of the
audiobooks.
channel. And finally,
Oh, by the way, I
share
saw
these
the coolest photo. If you ever guys get a chance, I've been watching these old photos because it's people really existing. They had a whole life with these same things too. It didn't matter if it's 18th century, 19th century, 20th century, or the 21st century. We still abide by these laws. So this in itself is blessed up to that. And I'll tell you a cool quick story before we get going that I saw a photo of, and I just thought it was absolutely amazing. But they were all rolling cigars. Imagine like 8 or 10 dudes, 10 pews back, 20 pews back. Like there must have been at least 50 dudes in this room, and one dude sitting there with a book, and he's reading to them out loud. He was the first YouTube. I thought about it. He was the first YouTube. The newspapers or whatever's going on, these guys are doing the mundane roll, slap, roll, slap, roll, slap, and this guy's orating to them from a book, from a newspaper, education, because they were too illiterate to read. And I thought that was just so amazing. He was the first TV. He was the first YouTube. Anyway, bless up to information and sharing. BillionaireBlunt.com. BillionaireBlunt.com. I was just thinking, if you want just a blunt, there's none really rolled. And it takes me 15 minutes to roll a blunt because I was doing the show the other day. I couldn't fucking believe it. BillionaireBlunt.com, 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 BillionaireBlunt.com. And then, you know, I'd have to get under someone else's license per state, but it'd be nice to just have one in a jar. And the way I'm taking billionaires to the next level will be the first $100 blunt. These will be the $20 ones with the gram in the blunt, but then there'll be the ones 7 grams in the blunt, rolled long ways, like the cigars I was just telling you about, with like rose petals and fucking gold leaf and a little bit of hash in the middle. Y'all don't even want to know. So anyway, special occasions, you know what I'm saying? Special occasions. So let's get into it. Shoot, it's 12:12 right now. How cool is that? I just looked at my phone. Cool. Okay, girl, do the thing.
videos with your friends who might need it.
Yeah, share it with your friends.
Student of human nature is to transform yourself into a master decoder of envy. You are ruthless in your analysis and your determination to get to the root of what motivates people. The signs that people emit of envy are harder to discern, but they exist, and you can master the language with some effort and subtle discernment. Think of it as an intellectual challenge. By being able to decode it, you will not feel so confused. You will understand in hindsight that you suffered an envy attack, which will help you get over it. You might be able to see in advance the warning signs of such an attack and either diffuse or detect it. And knowing the hidden pain that comes from one well-aimed envy attack, you will spare yourself the emotional damage that can last for years. This will not make you paranoid but only better able to weed out the false and fatal friends, or colleagues, from the real ones, the ones you can truly trust.
Here we are.
Before immersing yourself in the subtleties of the emotion, it is important to distinguish between passive and active envy. All of us in the course of a day will inevitably feel some pangs of envy, as we unconsciously monitor the people around us and sense that they might have more. It is a fact of social life that there are always people who are superior to us in wealth, intelligence, likability, and other qualities. If these pangs rise to the level of consciousness and are a bit acute, we might say something hurtful or mean-spirited as a way to vent the emotion. But generally, as we experience this passive form of envy, we do not do anything that would in any meaningful way harm the relationship with a friend or colleague.
See that passive envy, these levels in this game, the subtleness of our emotions and the way we express it, micro expressions, and just that all leaks the truth. So if people do give you the side eye, that's their real side eye. They're really side eyeing you, and they really are not wanting to say that they're that way, but they are that way. So anyway, I gotta take this call. Actually, let me get off this phone with you guys. Okay, there you go. And that's going to be the end of the show. That's my 30 minutes. I don't want to take up any more time. It's called the Laws of Human Nature. And Robert Greene's an amazing author. Get yourself on this level. Don't fuck around. Seriously. Take a screenshot. The Laws of Human Nature. This is part 2. Obviously, there's 3 parts, like she just said. Get yourself enough time to accept this and make it happen. All right? Love you, love your show. I'm out. Peace and love. And as always, Jigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever and finish. I'll see you on the other side. Ciao.